in Acadiana is
Al Bear.
720, Al Abear celebrating yet another national day, National IPA Day to be exact. He is live this morning from Adopted Dog Brewery and we're sending it to him. Al, how's it going out there?
Hey Alex, this is where the science happens. Ryan Pecot, tell us, what do we have here?
Well, you tease with the sign, but this is our brew house. It's a 7-barrel brew house. All our beers are brewed here. So really, I don't know if you can see that the PVC pipe that comes in, but we mill all of our grains. We have to crush those down. They're going to go into a grist case, which is this big guy up here. On a brew day, we'll open that up. This door will be closed down here. This is the mash lauter tun. I know you're doing your echoes earlier. And this is kind of, if you're making a gumbo, like this would where you make the roux, if you will. This is where all of the flavors and the profiles really come together. Wow. And then once you've done what you needed to do in here, a bunch of the valves that are up here by you, Al, you'll start turning some of those valves. We'll use the computer screen as well, and then we'll transfer to the boil kettle, which is on that side, right? And so that's where you're going to kind of, quote-unquote, boil the gumbo, right?
I can feel heat.
When that thing's going, it's hot. I mean, and it's got to be exactly at 212. So once we've boiled, which is usually about 90 minutes or so, that's a wort. It's not beer yet. It's still wort. We'll transfer into these fermenters, which have the orange hoses on them, and that's where the beer becomes beer. We pitch the yeast, and once that yeast is pitched, the wort becomes beer. It'll live in those tanks from 3 to 10 weeks, depending on the style of beer. Once that's completed, we'll move to the bright tank. We carbonate it. Once it's carbonated, we go to a keg, and then we can drink it like we did earlier.
So is this what turns it into alcohol?
It does. When it comes out of the boil kettle, it's not alcohol. The yeast eat the sugars in the wort, and the byproduct is alcohol.
Oh, wow. So at this stage, does beer taste like beer before it's alcohol, or?
Barely.
Barely.
If you know what you're tasting, I never tasted raw wort until James, my brewmaster, brewed our first beer here. I was like, okay, I can now taste wort and get an idea of what the final product's going to taste like. If you tasted it, it almost is like sugary water to a certain extent.
Oh, wow.
Because the yeast haven't eaten that sugar away yet.
So the non-alcoholic beer that's all over, is it a similar process except there's no...
Kind of. There's one group that found a way to do it this way and then pull the alcohol out after they've patented that, so we don't know how they're doing it. The other way, there's some cheaper ways to do it, but I can't do it perfectly, so I'm not even pretending to know how to do it.
Wow. And so this is a lot of stuff. So but there are people who do this like in their man cave, in their garage. They have like, and
right.
Is the process similar when you do it at your house?
The process has been a process since the Egyptians did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been that process. The technology and the art and the capacity of the equipment makes it different.
So you mentioned the Egyptians. Oh, hey, you know what? We got to go back to the studio. We're going to talk about the Egyptians coming up.